Namaskar, myself Bhaskar Mhatre, Secretary, Navi Mumbai Cooperative Housing Federation. Today's topic is handover of documents. After formation of the society, developer has to provide certain documents to the society. We have invited Advocate Shreeprasad Parab to deliver the lectures on the topics of handover of documents. I request Mr. Shreeprasad Parab to guide our viewers today with regard to the handover of documents.
Dhanyawad Matre sir. So today's topic is handover process, that is handover of documents from the developer to the association of allottees, that is cooperative housing society or condominium apartments or company. Now this handover process is of great importance. The reason is that because this is the point where the dispute emerges between the developers and the association of allottees. And if this is done with due care, then it will minimize into litigations. Now, handover process is the handover of documents from the developer to the cooperative housing society, association of allottees, company, etc. And if this handover process, now this handover of documents, as we already seen, there are two entities. One is the developer promoter and second is the association of allottees. Now for promoter, Section 2ZK of RERA 2016, it defines the promoter. And if we interpret that definition, then we may analyze that a landowner owning a land and also developing the property by its own as a developer, then he is a promoter. If the landowner undertakes to go with a JV agreement with the developer and assigns the development rights, then both the landowners as well as the developers are the promoters. If the cooperative housing society undertaking a redevelopment activity and in pursuance to that appointing a developer, then cooperative housing society as well as the developer are the promoters. If the cooperative housing society is going for a self-redevelopment activity, and in this self-redevelopment process, the cooperative housing society will be in the shoes of the developer. Therefore, the cooperative housing society will be promoter. If the cooperative housing society, while doing self-redevelopment, appoints a contractor and in this creates a barter system with that contractor, then the contractor as well as the cooperative housing society are the promoters. There is also a concept of DM model. In this, the development manager, the development management company will also be acting as a promoter. Therefore, we have seen the promoters. So, it is to analyze from all these promoters, the handover of documents is required to be done. Now, the second entity we know, it's an association of allottees, that is a cooperative housing society or a condominium or a company. Now, as per RERA, if the majority of the flats are booked, if you see section 11, then as per majority flats, that is 51% if the flats are booked in that particular real estate project, then the promoter is liable to form a cooperative housing society or an association of allottees or a company. So that means when this handover process takes place, a cooperative housing society or a condominium apartment or a company is already there. Therefore, first thing, that is the first document which we will discuss is the handover of the cooperative housing society records, that is the formation of the cooperative housing society documents, Form A, Form B, Form C, the list of the members, the copies of the bylaws which are been approved, the society registration certificate. So all these things needs to be handed over. If it is condominium, then the deed of declaration, deed of apartments, that needs to be handed over. If it is company, then company registration certificate and all the relevant documents of the organizations needs to be handed over. Now this is the first part. Now entering into the actual handover process, the first document will relate to the title, that is the land. Now when it comes to land, the first document which we analyze is the property card or 712 extract, 7/12 jala apan bolto. So property card is there, 712 extract is there, this needs to be handed over. Then search reports are there during the initial stage of the real estate project. The promoter always undertakes the activity of search. Therefore, search reports, title certificates from the advocates. Now this also needs to be handed over. Now this is all about land. Now the second part is the dealing, that is from the land to the promoter, the dealing, that is a development agreement, suppose it is there, or the agreement, the title document of the landowner, if that document is there, then all these things needed to be handed over. So development agreement is also connected with power of attorney, then stamp duty, registration, receipts paid to the concerned authorities. So all these things needed to be handed over. Now the development agreement is there, the land documents are there. After this, the developer goes and approach the planning authorities and the various concerned authorities for permission for development of the real estate project. So in this case, now there are various permissions granted by these competent authorities to planning authorities, such as there are various NOCs which are being granted. For example, there is an NOC, offer letters are there, NOCs from CFO department is there, NOC from aviation is there, NOC from tree environmental department is there, tree cutting department is there, Nala department is there, NOCs from collector is there. So from various authorities, these NOCs are granted, and these NOCs needed to be handed over to the Association of Allottees or that legal body. Thereafter, the planning authority issues an IOD. So IOD means intimation of disapproval, or intimation of approval is also there in some planning authorities. So IOD, IOA needed to be handed over. Then there is a concept of CC, that is commencement of the work. CC, commencement certificate. Now there are various CCs also. If in some cases the developers opt for CC to plinth, then CC for number of floors, and thereafter full CC. Or in some cases, many of the developers get an opt for full CC. So all the CCs, commencement certificates, needed to be handed over. And finally, the occupation certificate, OC. So this also needed to be handed over. While discussing IOD, CC and OC, we also need to take care about the approved plans at the time of IOD, at the time of CC and at the time of occupation certificate. So all these approved plans approved by the planning authority, which are duly signed and stamped, so these also needed to be handed over to the cooperative housing society, condominium, apartment or company. Now next, now we have discussed IOD, CC and OC. So also when the commencement certificate is received by the developer, so he commenced the work, and before commencing the work, there is a mandate of RERA, that is he has to apply for the RERA registration certificate. And while making this application, he has to give some disclosures, some affidavits. So all these disclosures, affidavits, all the approved plans, all the permissions from the various authorities which have been uploaded in the RERA website, now these also needed to be handed over, and along with the RERA registration certificate. All the affidavits, all the approvals, all forms, form 3, form 4, form 5, all for forms of RERA also needed to be handed over to the Association of Allottees. So after the RERA registration certificate, the developer executes the construction activity, and then he enters into various contracts with various contractors, subcontractors, agencies. There is a contract of guarantee, warranty, AMC. So all these documents needed to be handed over. There are various layouts, plans during the construction activity. That is, architectural shop floor drawings are there, structural drawings are there, interior drawings are there, elevational drawings are there, MEP layouts are there. So all these drawings needed to be handed over. Then one more document which is very important is the architect individual flat certificate, stating the carpet area of that particular flat, RERA carpet as well as MOFA carpet, and the construction cost also, because that is a document which is needed to calculate the sinking fund. So all this document is also a must. Then contact details of architect, structural engineers, all the consultants, legal consultants, all these needed to be handed over. Then the developer executes agreement for sale, sale deed with the flat purchasers. Therefore, a list of sold units and unsold units needed to be handed over. With this sold unit list, the agreement for sale is there, sale deed is there, possession letters, all needed to be handed over to the body. That's a legal body. Then the developer also sometimes executes some mortgage deeds for raising of funds, some charge or lien, with banking institutions or financial institutions, then this clearance certificate is also needed during the transfer. If there are some litigations pending with regards to that particular project concerning in any court, competent court or tribunal, then that details also needed to be shared with the legal body. So after this, to conclude, a draft document of deed of conveyance is also a must. The reason is that all our statutes, that is RERA and the state acts, directs to transfer the title from the developer to the legal body at the completion of the project. So when the occupation certificate is there and it's time for completion and handover process, so the draft conveyance deed also need to be shared with this legal body, that is a cooperative housing society, or it may be an association or company. And with this draft deed of conveyance, all these documents, this draft deed of conveyance needed to be executed within the stipulated time. The stipulated time frame as per RERA is 3 months, and as per the States Act, as per MOFA, it is 4 months. So at last, to conclude, transparency, fair play, quality product, on-time delivery are the key success of the real estate sector. And if the handover process of all the documents is done in a smoother way by both the entities, then it will result to achieve the great success of consensus ad idem between both the parties. Dhanyavad.